Welcome to the fourth episode of Bible Summaries. Today we continue on the book of Genesis. Genesis chapter 33 to 50 continues the narrative, chronicling significant events and figures in the early history of the Bible. Here is an extended summary of these chapters. Genesis chapter 33. Jacob's reconciliation with Esau. Jacob and Esau's reconciliation from the previous chapter continues, with Jacob offering gifts to Esau as a sign of goodwill. The brothers part on amicable terms, and Jacob settles in Shechem, purchasing land and establishing an altar to God. Genesis chapter 34. Dinah's defilement and retaliation. Simeon and Levi's revenge against the people of Shechem for defiling their sister Dinah leads to further conflict and fear among neighboring tribes. Genesis chapter 35. Jacob's return to Bethel. Jacob's return to Bethel signifies his renewed commitment to God. God reaffirms his covenant with Jacob, renaming him Israel once again. Rachel dies giving birth to Benjamin and is buried near Bethlehem, and Isaac also passes away and is buried by his sons. Genesis chapter 36. The descendants of Esau. The genealogy of Esau's descendants continues, providing insights into the growth and history as the Edomites. Genesis chapter 37. Joseph sold into slavery. Joseph, sold into slavery by his jealous brothers, arrives in Egypt. He is purchased by Potiphar, an official in Pharaoh's court, where he eventually rises to a position of trust. Genesis chapter 38. The story of Judah and Tamar. This chapter continues the narrative of Judah and Tamar, culminating in Tamar giving birth to twins, Perez and Zerah. Genesis chapter 39. Joseph's time in Potiphar's house. Joseph's time in Potiphar's house takes a dramatic turn when he is falsely accused of attempting to seduce Potiphar's wife and is thrown into prison. Genesis chapter 40. Joseph interprets dreams in prison. Joseph interprets the dreams of two fellow prisoners, one of whom is released, while the other is executed, as Joseph predicted. Genesis chapter 41. Joseph interprets Pharaoh's dreams. Joseph interprets Pharaoh's dreams about 7 years of plenty followed by 7 years of famine. Pharaoh appoints him as the governor of Egypt, second in command. Genesis 42 to 45. Joseph's brothers go to Egypt. Joseph's brothers travel to Egypt to buy grain during the famine but do not recognize Joseph, who conceals his identity. Joseph tests his brothers by accusing them of being spies and holds Simeon as a hostage. The brothers return to Canaan with grain, but are instructed to bring Benjamin on their next visit. Genesis chapter 46. Jacob's journey to Egypt. Jacob and his family, along with his son Joseph, travel to Egypt to escape the famine. They settle in the land of Goshen. Genesis chapter 47. Jacob's blessing and death. Jacob and Pharaoh meet, and Jacob blesses Pharaoh before his death. Jacob's family thrives in Egypt, and he lives to be 147 years old, bestowing blessings and prophecies upon his sons. Genesis 48 to 49. Jacob's blessings to his sons. Jacob blesses his grandsons Ephraim and Manasseh, adopting them as his own sons. On his deathbed, Jacob blesses each of his 12 sons, foretelling their descendants' destinies. Genesis chapter 50. Joseph's reconciliation with his brothers and death. Joseph reveals his true identity to his brothers and forgives them for their past actions. Jacob passes away in Egypt, and Joseph arranges for his father's embalming and burial in the land of Canaan. Joseph reassures his brothers, promising God's providence and forgiveness, before his own death. These chapters in Genesis continue to explore themes of family, reconciliation, divine providence, and the fulfillment of God's promises through the lives of Jacob, Joseph, and their families. They also lay the foundation for the eventual emergence of the Israelite nation in the land of Egypt. Follow and subscribe for part 5.